The fires of Mustafar left behind a scarred, breathing terror. But in this alternate timeline, Obi-Wan Kenobi refuses to walk away. Guided by a deep, aching remorse, the aging Jedi Master tracks the broken cyborg to a desolate, mist-shrouded sanctuary world on the Outer Rim. Vader expects execution. Instead, Kenobi offers a dangerous, unprecedented gamble. A second chance at life, brotherhood, and the light. Stripped of his oppressive red blade, Anakin Skywalker kneels in the mud, gasping for breath through his metallic respirator. Kenobi extends a steady hand, not as an executioner, but as a teacher. The stakes are unimaginable. If Vader reverts to his old habits, the galaxy burns completely. Yet, the initial days are filled with volatile friction. Vader's mechanical limbs groan with every movement, echoing his inner torment. Kenobi forces him to confront his past, stripping away the armor piece by piece to heal the psychological wounds inflicted by Darth Sidious. Trust does not come easy. Every shadow reminds Vader of the Emperor's iron grip, and every meditation session threatens to ignite into explosive dark side fury. Kenobi remains steadfast, absorbing blows and blocking desperate strikes with absolute calm. Slowly, a fragile spark of the old Jedi Knight begins to flicker beneath the terrifying facade. Suddenly, deep space sensors flash red. A probe droid breaches the atmosphere. Sidious knows they are here, and the hunt has officially begun. The mist-shrouded sanctuary provides no escape from the ghosts of Mustafar. In the damp caves of this uncharted world, Anakin Skywalker battles his own mind. The dark side calls to him, a constant, toxic whisper promising power and control. Obi-Wan Kenobi knows mere meditation will not purge the darkness. He pushes his former apprentice through grueling, soul-wrenching trials every single day. Stripped of his heavy armor, Anakin relies on raw, force-infused strength to survive the harsh environment. Kenobi challenges him relentlessly. They duel with wooden staffs, forcing Anakin to rely on patience rather than aggression. Every time Anakin strikes in anger, Kenobi easily disarms him, forcing the cyborg to face his failures. The phantom pain of severed limbs is nothing compared to the agony of his guilt. Visions of Padme plague his restless sleep. The screams of the Jedi Temple echo endlessly in his ears. One night, the torment becomes too much to bear. Anakin's rage explodes, shattering the stone pillars around them. The dark side swirls, a violent storm threatening to consume him once again. Kenobi ignites his lightsaber, prepared for the absolute worst. But instead of attacking, Anakin collapses to the dirt, weeping metallic tears. The monster is cracking, revealing the broken man beneath. A fragile trust forms in the ruins of his anger. Anakin finally accepts the depth of his fall, a crucial step toward true redemption. He begins to listen, really listen, to the living force. But as he finds a fleeting moment of inner peace, the planet's magnetic field violently disrupts. A massive shadow eclipses the sun, signaling a fleet. The past has found them. Furious at the betrayal of his prized apprentice, Darth Sidious unleashes his full wrath upon the galaxy. The Emperor cannot allow a rogue Skywalker to exist, especially one guided by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Coruscant's underworld buzzes with the highest bounty ever posted in Imperial history. Sidious dispatches his deadliest assets, a pack of relentless inquisitors, paired with the galaxy's most ruthless bounty hunters, to drag Vader back in chains. Aboard a Star Destroyer, the Grand Inquisitor senses a disturbance in the Outer Rim. The hunt leads them to the sanctuary world. Dropships pierce the clouds, raining stormtroopers into the dense forests. Kenobi and Anakin watch from the ridgeline. This is the moment of truth. Will Anakin fight for his new path, or surrender to the fear that once ruled him? The jungle erupts into chaos. Blaster fire scorches the ancient trees as bounty hunters close the net. Anakin does not have his lightsaber. Instead, he moves with a terrifying, fluid grace, using the Force to hurl boulders and snap blaster rifles in half. He fights, not with hatred, but with a cold, protective focus. Kenobi deflects a barrage of sniper fire, expertly covering Anakin's flank. Together, they move as a single, lethal unit, a deadly dance of master and student reborn. The Inquisitors finally corner them near a waterfall, igniting their spinning red blades. The Grand Inquisitor steps forward, taunting the former Lord Vader, expecting submission. Anakin merely closes his eyes, centering himself in the light. But as the Inquisitors lunge forward for the kill, an unexpected, massive explosion rocks the steep cliffside, throwing everyone violently down to the ground. The cliffside explosion leaves the battlefield covered in thick smoke. Imperial reinforcements surge through the debris, overwhelming their position. Blaster bolts rain down relentlessly, pinning Kenobi behind a shattered rock. Seeing his master cornered, a dangerous switch flips inside Anakin's mind. The meticulous training unravels. Pure, unadulterated survival instinct takes over. Anakin steps into the open. He does not use a lightsaber. He uses the environment. With a horrifying crunch, he crushes the armor of 3 stormtroopers, using only the Force, tossing them aside like broken dolls. The Inquisitors attack, but Anakin moves with brutal, savage efficiency. He rips a spinning lightsaber from a fallen Inquisitor and ignites the crimson blade. The hum of the red plasma triggers a muscle memory steeped in absolute slaughter. Kenobi watches in mounting horror. Anakin is no longer fighting defensively. He is hunting. He carves through the Imperial ranks, his eyes burning with a familiar, sickly yellow hue. The dark side flows through him, intoxicating and limitless. Every strike is fueled by years of pent-up hatred for the Empire that enslaved him. He lifts the Grand Inquisitor into the air, slowly crushing his windpipe as the Dark Warrior desperately thrashes. "Anakin, stop!" Kenobi yells, his voice desperate. The command barely pierces the roaring tempest of Anakin's fury. For one terrifying second, Anakin turns his glowing yellow eyes toward his master. The red blade hums hungrily between them. The delicate trust they built stands on a razor's edge. Anakin exhales sharply, drops the gasping Inquisitor, and deactivates the blade. But the damage is done. A terrible, chilling silence suddenly falls over the ruined, blood-stained battlefield. The chilling silence on the battlefield proves one absolute truth. They cannot fight the Empire alone. Fleeing into the hyperspace lanes, Kenobi realizes Anakin needs a purpose greater than his own penance. They must strike back. Using old Republic frequencies, Obi-Wan reaches out to a shadow network of dissidents. He makes contact with Bail Organa, proposing an alliance that sounds like sheer madness. A secret meeting is arranged on the rainy industrial world of Corellia. Rebel leaders gather in a dimly lit warehouse, expecting the legendary General Kenobi. But when the towering, scarred figure of Anakin Skywalker steps from the shadows, blasters are instantly drawn. The tension is incredibly thick. These rebels have lost families to Vader's ruthless campaigns. Panic ripples through the room. Obi-Wan stands firmly between his apprentice and the armed rebels. He vouches for Anakin's changed heart, but words are not enough to buy trust. It is Anakin who acts. He steps forward, dropping his stolen lightsaber onto the table. He presents them with a datapad containing Imperial hyperspace routes, shield codes, and Sidious's personal security rotations. It is an intelligence goldmine that could cripple the Imperial fleet. Slowly, blasters are lowered. The rebel leaders realize the magnitude of this gift. They are no longer just a struggling insurgency. They now possess the ultimate weapon against the Empire, the Emperor's own enforcer turned against him. The spark of rebellion instantly fans into a roaring flame. A daring, impossible plan begins to take shape in the smoky room. The target is not a mere Starfleet or distant military base. The ultimate target is the capital, Coruscant itself. Coruscant glitters under the iron grip of the Empire. Navigating the capital's heavily fortified airspace should be impossible, but Anakin Skywalker knows every blind spot in the planetary defense grid. Piloting a stolen Imperial shuttle, he slips past the blockade, landing deep within the underbelly of the Senate district. The plan is insanely direct. While rebel cells launch a coordinated assault on the city's power generators, the two Jedi will infiltrate the Imperial palace. Cloaked in the dark robes of the Sith, Anakin marches through the grand corridors. Stormtroopers snap to attention, terrified of the scarred enforcer. Obi-Wan walks closely behind, disguised as a captive. The deception works flawlessly. They bypass layers of heavy security, riding the turbolift toward the apex of the palace. The tension is suffocating. Every floor they ascend brings them closer to the most dangerous being in the galaxy. The turbolift doors hiss open, revealing the cavernous expanse of the Emperor's throne room. Darth Sidious waits in the shadows, his yellow eyes glowing with malevolent amusement. He is not surprised. The Emperor has foreseen this exact confrontation. Royal guards ignite their force pikes, stepping forward to execute the intruders. Anakin sheds his dark cloak, revealing a newly forged lightsaber hilt at his belt. Obi-Wan drops his binders, summoning his weapon with a sharp flick of his wrist. They ignite their blades in perfect unison, casting a brilliant blue glow across the dark throne room. Master and apprentice stand firmly shoulder to shoulder, ready to end the nightmare. But Sidious just cackles loudly, raising his hands as a chilling, sinister smile twists across his ancient, scarred face. The royal guards are dispatched in seconds. Anakin and Obi-Wan move like a devastating hurricane, cutting through the elite defenders with effortless synergy. But Darth Sidious does not draw his lightsaber. He sits calmly on his throne, relishing the display. As the two Jedi charge toward the dais, the Emperor presses a concealed button. A massive holoprojector hums to life above them. The glowing blue image freezes Anakin in his tracks. It is a live feed of the Lars moisture farm on Tatooine. A squad of death troopers has a young woman and a baby surrounded. Ahsoka Tano is also pictured, trapped in a heavily fortified Imperial cell on Mustafar. Sidious has anticipated this rebellion. He knows Anakin's true weakness is not fear of death, but his terrifying, desperate attachment to those he loves. Sidious stands, his voice echoing with dark side resonance. He offers a terrifying ultimatum. Strike him down, and the death troopers execute the child. Return to his side as Darth Vader, and they all live. The psychological trap is perfect. The throne room goes deathly quiet. Obi-Wan steps forward, begging Anakin to trust the Force, warning him that giving in to blackmail will only plunge the galaxy into eternal darkness. Anakin's mechanical breathing quickens. He looks at his master, then at the hologram of his secret family. The lightsaber trembles in his metal grip. The dark side violently surges around him, feeding on his overwhelming panic. Sidious smiles, extending a withered hand, waiting to welcome his apprentice home. In a split second, Anakin makes his final, devastating choice, and a brilliant blade flashes through the air. The brilliant blue blade does not strike Obi-Wan. In a blinding flash of desperate clarity, Anakin hurls his lightsaber directly through the holoprojector, shattering it. He instantly uses the Force to yank Sidious from his throne. The Emperor shrieks, unleashing a massive storm of Force lightning. Anakin absorbs the brunt of the deadly electricity, his mechanical life support systems overloading with explosive sparks. Obi-Wan leaps forward, driving his lightsaber straight through the Emperor's chest. Sidious gasps, his tyrannical reign ending in a spectacular explosion of dark energy that shatters the throne room windows. The Sith Lord is finally dead, but the victory comes at a staggering, brutal cost. Anakin collapses to the floor, his breathing apparatus severely damaged and failing rapidly. Obi-Wan cradles his dying friend, desperately trying to heal him with the Force. Anakin reaches up with a trembling, organic hand. He does not ask for more power or control. He simply asks Obi-Wan to save his family. With rebel fleets suddenly breaking through the atmosphere, medical frigates rush to the palace. Anakin survives, but he is forever bound to a specialized med chair, heavily scarred and physically broken. Months later, the galaxy celebrates the birth of a fragile new republic. Bail Organa stands at the podium, surrounded by hopeful senators. Watching from the shadows is Anakin Skywalker. He is no longer Darth Vader, the monster of fear. He is a silent, vigilant protector, watching his children grow from afar. The dark side will always whisper to his fractured mind, but as a new dawn breaks, Anakin finally finds what he always sought: a fragile, fleeting moment of absolute, true peace.